As a competitor, Diana Taurasi once warned Caitlin Clark with the now famous words, "Reality is coming." However, as Clark took the WNBA by storm in her rookie season, it turned out that Taurasi was the one facing a new reality. Do you have a favorite matchup? You're going to get me in trouble, honestly, I'll just say. DT, because she's such an icon in our sport and has been in the game for so long. You get to share the court with her and you can feel her competitive spirit even though you're not on her team. Has just declared her retirement. How did one of the greatest players in league history go from being skeptical to admiring? What will the league have in store for them when they arrive? Look, SVP, reality is coming. There are layers to this thing. This was more than just a casual remark. It became the catalyst for one of the most captivating plot lines in women's basketball. Taurasi, a WNBA legend, made her position clear, and fans instantly divided into two groups. Some supported her statements as the harsh reality from an experienced veteran, while others saw them as outright dismissal of Clark's potential, sparked courtside conversations and social media talk shows, which increased the excitement for Clark's professional debut. Every WNBA arena she entered felt like a proving ground, and the pressure was unlike anything the league had ever experienced. Of course, we all experienced it, and you'll see it on the NBA side, where you're going to see some grown women who have been playing professional basketball for a long time. From the moment Clark took the court, the spotlight followed her every move, and the pressure was tremendous. The so-called reality check that many thought was coming for Clark never came. Instead, it became a wake-up call for the league itself. Caitlin Clark is much better than anyone anticipated. Every pass, shot, and possession was scrutinized. But what no one anticipated was that Clark wasn't just going to survive. She was about to completely flip the script with each game. She wasn't just keeping up. She was setting a new pace, rewriting records, and redefining what a rookie season could look like. League, it was a seismic shift. She wasn't just adjusting, she was dominating. Her stat lines were historic, her influence was undeniable, and game after game she demonstrated that she wasn't just a passing fad, but a generational talent here to stay. So who was hit with reality? The rookie venturing into uncharted territory, the veteran witnessing a new era unfold before her eyes, and the best part? Taurasi saw it too. The same player who had previously questioned how Clark would handle the league was now admitting that Caitlin Clark wasn't just living up to the hype, she was surpassing it. The WNBA has been searching for someone who can make a difference, and Caitlin Clark's three-point shooting became the talk of the league. She not only proved she belonged in the WNBA, but she also redefined what a rookie could accomplish in record-breaking time. As the regular season came to an end, Caitlin Clark became the fastest player in league history to make 100 three-pointers in a single season. She also made history in the final regular season game against the Washington Mystics, where she drained her 122nd. Clark's skill set went far beyond her elite shooting. Her stats, which averaged 19, spoke for themselves. She not only surpassed Diana Taurasi for the second most three-pointers made in a single WNBA season, but she was also a sharpshooter, rewriting the record books in real time. 2 points out of 8.5 and 4 assists. She led all rookies in scoring with 7 rebounds per game and led the league in assists and three-pointers made. She wasn't just keeping up with the veterans, she was surpassing them, setting the pace and creating history at every turn. By the end of her rookie season, she had broken 62 WNBA records, which is unprecedented for a first-time player. Her dominance was something the league had never witnessed before, and I expect to be among the best players in the world someday. I think a lot of good will come from that. Her games against Diana Taurasi's Phoenix Mercury became some of the most anticipated games of the season. Every time they faced off, it was must-watch TV. Clark didn't just rise to the occasion, she took over in one game. The rookie wasn't just competing with legends, she was surpassing them. Who could forget this amazing TikTok celebrating the sweep? However, Clark's influence went beyond stats and on-court dominance. The WNBA as a whole saw a surge in viewership and attendance, with millions of new fans tuning in for the first time ever. She had a particularly dominant performance, dropping 29 points, dishing out 10 assists, and grabbing 5 rebounds, leading Indiana to victory. The WNBA's live broadcast ratings overtook the NHL's in a change that nobody anticipated. The Caitlin Clark effect wasn't just media hype, it was a seismic shift that was actively changing women's basketball. I knew the atmosphere would be electric when they revealed Caitlin's name in the dark, and the fans went crazy. The Fever's away games sold out, and commentators couldn't stop talking about her. Even former skeptics had to admit that she wasn't just a rookie sensation. She was the new face of the league, and both new and devoted fans flocked to arenas to watch Clark play. The WNBA has seen record-breaking numbers this season in viewership, ticket sales, merchandise sales, and just overall league growth under the immense weight of expectations. Clark did more than just survive. She thrived, earning multiple Rookie of the Month honors, showing her consistency and ability to deliver at an elite level night in and night out. Her presence elevated the league, injecting a new level of energy that was impossible to ignore. Merchandise sales skyrocketed. Fever games became marquee matchups, and every broadcast featuring her broke records. There are big things in store for the W because of Caitlin Clark. While Caitlin Clark was igniting the league, a WNBA icon was confronting a completely different reality. Diana Taurasi, once the most dominant force in the game, found herself navigating unfamiliar territory. This was perhaps her most impressive accomplishment as she led the Indiana Fever to their first playoff appearance since 2016. In just 1 year, she turned a struggling team into a postseason contender. As Clark rose through the ranks, Tass's own journey took an unexpected turn. Was this the moment when the torch was quietly passed if this is your final regular season game in front of the X Factor? As the season went on, the conversation surrounding Tass's future only grew more intense. The once untouchable veteran was now finding it difficult to keep up with the league's rapidly changing pace, and Clark's name was being inscribed in record books. For years, Tass had been the benchmark. Became less dominant, which sparked a lot of rumors that retirement was imminent. However, she warned Clark that retirement was the reality, so she finally showed up for her. Instead, how do we express gratitude? 7,427 times, one for each day. We were proud to have you wear our uniform, and a face of the team just doesn't cut it for someone who has been the Mercury's lifeblood for 20 of our 28 seasons. Then came the announcement of the Olympic roster, and the controversy that followed only made the situation more complicated. Taurasi's inclusion on Team USA extended her illustrious Olympic career, but Clark was left off the list. This decision caused a stir in the basketball community, generating intense discussions on social media and beyond. How could a player who brought a franchise back to prominence and single-handedly increased the WNBA's popularity be disqualified? Fans and analysts alike questioned the decision, with many thinking it was more about politics than performance. The backlash was swift, and the differences between Taurasi and Clark supporters became even more marked. However, not everyone in the league was silent about Clark's impact. Sue Bird Tass, a longtime friend and fellow WNBA legend, publicly praised Clark's game Bird, who had witnessed countless greats come and go. If this is it, thank you for letting us share in the joy. For the banners and the MVPs, for 10000, for getting to see you on that medal stand 6 times, for letting us call you GOAT even though you hated it, and for the technicals where you really got your money. As I mentioned, Sophie Cunningham, one of Tass's Phoenix Mercury teammates, also expressed her admiration for Clark, confirming the growing realization that she wasn't just hype, but the real deal. Why does everyone hate Caitlin Clark? Do you hate her? I think she's a G, but I've never really known. But over the weekend, we kind of joked around a little bit. She's a lovely person. But I think a lot of people always have a lot to say about people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. I think she's handling the pressure really well, and I'm a huge fan who would love to play with her someday. Then, in a moment that seemed to completely change the course of events, cameras caught Taurasi putting her arm around Clark. It was a small, seemingly insignificant gesture, but it carried a lot of weight in that Even though it wasn't a big statement or a viral soundbite, it was obvious to those who were listening that this was more than just a casual encounter. It was respect, acknowledgement, and possibly even an